Okay, let's get into another one. It's your boy Nate. Yes, 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 people. It's your boy Nate. Let's get into another one. So, I'm seeing more and more of these videos on YouTube of these women that used to be strippers and now they're or not even just strippers. Some of them are strippers, some of them are porn stars, um, or sex workers as they like to be referred to nowadays. Um, um, yes, whether OnlyFans or whatever it is. And now they're at the point where, they're not doing these things anymore, but they want a serious man, they want a serious relationship, they want to get married, all this kind of stuff. And they're upset that a lot of men don't want them because of their past occupation. And it's interesting how you hear so many men saying this time and 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 time again, that that what they actually value, what we actually value. And women are just not listening. They're not listening. Or they're listening and they're choosing to to do what they're doing anyway, and then they're moaning about their bad decision, about blaming it on men and saying that men are too insecure, they can't be with a woman like them because they're insecure of their past and stuff and things they've done, and that they've been with other men that are better, all this kind of stuff. Well, some men, yeah, some you can look at it that way, but most of them it's not. It's most of them, they're probably actually just, they don't value they don't value that. They don't see you as valuable anymore because your value you've given away to so many men, whether it's through the screen, and so many men have seen you naked, seen you doing all this stuff. They don't want to be walking down the street with you on their arm, and then randomly one guy that's a fan of yours, just that's seen you get blown out on a video, and then comes up to you and like, oh yeah, I'm a big fan, rah, rah, rah. And it starts talking about your work, like your past work, like, oh yeah, I remember you in that scene. I remember when you did this. Oh, I loved it when you rah, rah, rah. Oh man, like that guy was like that, and just talking about all explicit and crazy stuff. He doesn't wanna be in that situation. He's not gonna put himself in that situation because the reality is, especially if you've been like if you're a baddie, as they call you, a baddie, if you're a baddie and you've been in these, you've made money and you've made these sales and you've done, you've done a lot in your past career, then the reality is that he this the reality is that you're going to have more opportunities for other people to be walking up to you and that to be happening. He's not interested. He is not interested at all. He does not want to get involved in that. So why are we having so many women now just not taking responsibility? Not taking responsibility and blaming society, blaming patriarchy, blaming men, blaming other women that might be judging them. To be honest, they don't really do the last one. Um, but that's a real thing though. That's a big thing. Anyway, and like saying all this stuff and just take responsibility for your past. Take responsibility for your past. And yeah, now you're in the situation. Now you're gonna have to be real. You're gonna have to be real that your options of men have drastically gone down because of your past choices. You have to just accept that. You have to accept it. And you have to accept it because men hold the key to relationships, women hold the key to sex. And he can pay for sex. Like, can you pay for a relationship? You probably can, but that's not the kind of relationship you really want. And so, yeah, I just, you need to start taking responsibility. I'm just seeing more and more of these videos on TikTok, on YouTube, of people reviewing these women just not taking responsibility for their past actions, not taking, like, not being accountable. Like, you made the choice. You made the choice. No one put a gun to your head to tell you that you had to do all of these videos, that you had to do OnlyFans, that you had to do whatever you were doing, stripping and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so you have to take responsibility. That's all. That's all I can say. We need to really start teaching our younger girls about responsibility and about how the actions that they make today may affect them 50 years down the line. And we need to actually show them some real examples, get real people in. Just like that, what I think it was on Murray that they had like these bad behaving teenagers, and then the teenagers would come in and be like cussing out their parents and stuff on stage and talking badly, and then they would have to spend a day in prison and have all these prisoners like verbally abusing them and intimidating them and stuff like that, and basically getting them to realize like how they're just kids. And the way that they're acting and thinking that they're all gangsters and stuff, and they're not. Maybe women need the same. Maybe these young girls need the same kind of thing. They need a wake up call from some of these porn stars and ex sex workers from OnlyFans and stuff like that. Start talking to these girls, or even just getting some of these clips from YouTube and doing educational videos and a class with these young girls and showing them, look, you don't want to be this. You don't want this to be you. I think that'd be so helpful. Start changing the generation, because right now, uh, the girls are just looking at these women's Instagrams and seeing them in skimpy clothes and stuff, but seeing them with expensive bags, seeing them in like private jets and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of those stuff is staged, and like there's a place where you can actually go into this jet, and it's not even a jet, it's just a studio, and you can hire it for an hour and you can take pictures in there like you're in a private jet. And some of these women are going in private jets, but then they're getting paid a lot of money and going to Dubai and doing these what they call doo-doo contracts and all this kind of stuff. And but these young girls are just looking at the face value. They're looking at what the women have, and then they're also looking at their body and thinking that, yeah, that's the body that I want, and then thinking how can they pay money to go and get it done, and then end up regretting it and it being extremely painful. One woman went to get a BBL and a tummy tuck, and she woke up and they stole her kidney. They stole her kidney. Like, it's just mad. But yeah, we need to really educate our young women so we don't have this repeat of foolishness.